before I left Canada, I had dinner with a friend who has been a very close friend for almost 36 years. And I told her, I will be in Thailand and you will be there in my heart. 36 years ago, she and I taught parenting courses together. So I started my career helping parents and families become healthier and happier together. And it's interesting to me today that here I am helping you to learn how to do that with your parents and families that you work with. She wished she could come with me, not just be in my heart. If I sit down here, can you see me? Is this okay? Good. I don't like to be on my feet for the whole day. Okay. So let me give you a little sense of my understanding of what we will be doing together for the next 5 days and in November. My understanding is that all of you are working with families in one way or another. Some of you are working with families in the justice system, young juvenile offenders. Is this true? Yes. Some of you are working with families with children who have some challenges like autism. Is this true? Okay. And some of you are working with families that are just wanting to find out how they can be happier together. Okay. What do all those families have in common? They're all people who are wanting to be happy, who are doing the best they can with what they know so far, and who want to learn something new so that they can do something different. And my guess would be, if we were to ask them, how do you think it could be different? Many of them would say, I don't know. Right? If they knew, they would already be doing it. But they don't know. So then it becomes our job to help them to know what they want different. One of the difficulties with some people who are helpers, and I've come across this in my travels in different places, some people think that they have the right answer and that they can teach other people how they should be. And I have found that we have families out there who are very resilient. Do you know what that means? They are good survivors. They are very good survivors. And when some expert comes to them and says, you should be doing this, what do? They say, maybe they'll say yes, but do they do it? Not very often. They usually go home and do what they've always been doing. It's very difficult for people to follow advice. What I have learned about people in my years of working with them, 36 years now of working with people, is that their answers need to come from their inside. We cannot advise people, tell them what they should be doing. We need to help them to find the wisdom that's already inside of them. And when they listen to that wisdom, it will guide them to do things that will bring happiness, connection, some kind of peace, some kind of excitement and new possibilities. But we can't tell them. We need to ask them. And my exciting thing that I've learned is that they can learn to listen to that wisdom they already have inside of them. So when we're talking about families, we're usually talking about more than two people. I don't know any people who didn't come into the world with a mother and a father. I've never met one who didn't come into the world with a mother and a father. Okay, the mother provides the egg, the father provides the sperm, and when that egg and sperm come together, it activates a new life. Now, even if people don't know who their mother was, or they don't know who their father was, there was still an egg and a sperm that came together and activated a new life. In this modern world, we know how to bring an egg and a sperm together to activate a new life without the people being involved, right? We have in vitro fertilization. And some people don't know who their father is. And some people who were adopted don't know who their mother is. But that doesn't change the fact that they have a biological mother here, and a biological father here, and that they became the kid of that biological mother and father. Okay? It's a miracle. It is a literal miracle that this egg and sperm to come together and activate a new life. Now, most people, most families activated a new life very much as a couple. Most families, not all, but most, right? I find it interesting that in order to drive a car, I need to take a test. I need to learn how first and take a test, right? In order to do counseling or therapy, I need to learn how and get some kind of certification. In order to be a mother, I don't have to do anything other than have sex with somebody. That's the only criteria there is, right? So people become parents without any training. The only training they have is how their parents treated them. And maybe some of the other adults that they came into contact with in their life. And we expect them to somehow know what to do with this new life that comes into the world. How many of you here are parents besides me? How many people here have a child, at least one child? Okay, lots of you do not. Okay. I don't know if those of you who are parents remember when you had your very first new baby. It was very frightening. It was very frightening. This helpless, tiny little person who now depends on me to do everything right, to make sure that they not only stay alive, but that they grow up to be good, moral, loving people. Okay? It's a big responsibility. And most parents don't have a whole lot of guidance in how to do it. So we need to help them. Now, one of the things we sometimes forget when we work with families is that mother was once the kid. She has two parents who didn't know what they were doing either. And father was once the kid. And they learned things in those families about themselves and about how families work. And then they come together and create a child. And they bring everything that they have learned into this new family. And this child begins to learn from the moment he or she is born about who he is, how he fits in the world, what relationships are, what's good, what's bad. And we forget that these little people are students. From the moment they're born, they are learning, learning, learning. And we don't think, what am I teaching them? What do I want them to learn? Now, the very good news is we are good survivors. We all survived our parents, right? We might have also appreciated our parents for many of the good things they gave us. But all of us also survived things that were not so happy in our families. There are no perfect families. Now, when the parents come to you for help, what are they usually asking for? What do they want?
We have the worst behavior.
Better relationship, okay, with each other or with their child? With their child. A better relationship with their child. Anything else you hear?
How to change the kids' behavior.
How to change their kids' behavior. That's the most common thing, isn't it? Would you please change my child? I don't like what they do. So change them. Okay.